We are live on YouTube also. Good evening, one and all. So, after a fun and entertainment-filled CA week, we are back with technically upgrading webinars. I, CA Pankaj Makkad, would like to welcome you all for this virtual CPE program organized and hosted by Ranchi branch of CIRC of ICI. To begin this program, I would like to call CA Manisha Biani, Chairman, Ranchi branch of ICI, for her welcome speech. Ma'am.
A warm welcome to the virtual CP meeting on standards of auditing in COVID scenario. Good afternoon, CA Devendra Sumani ji, our Honorable Chairman of CIRC, respected Vice Chairman CA Atul Mehrotra ji, our distinguished speaker, Central Council member, and the Chairman of Board of Studies, CA Devashish Mitra sir, the committee members of my branch, and all the participants who have joined today in the webinar. Standards and auditing guide us how to do a quality audit of our clients, and in the COVID scenario, we have to be more vigilant in performing our duty. This COVID-19 has impacted all the countries across the world. The industries are also impacted in turn, and it depends how much an industry is impacted on the relation with the nations which are more impacted. So in turn, the economy has been affected, and also the financial statements and the reporting will be impacted too. Some businesses have temporarily also shut down, and there are some operations which are affected, which will affect an impairment of non-financial assets, the inventory valuation, the provisions, contingent liabilities, etc. are some integral part in which we need guidance in order to report in our audit report. Mitra sir will guide us on all these and much more so that we get a clear concept. I would also like to inform you that the CA Week program went on very well. It started with the CP virtual meeting, and then we had a tree plantation program. We also had flag hoisting with proper distancing and security measures being taken. We did our some social cause also. We contributed to it by providing lunch to handicapped children and also some amenities like wheelchairs, etc. Then we had a cyclothon also, Go Green Cyclothon, and ended up with a blood donation camp in which we collected 32 units of blood. So thank you. And now I would hand it over to Atul Mehrotra sir. Sir, we would like you to say certain.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Manisha ji, for giving me this opportunity. And very respected CA Dr. Devashish Mitra ji, and my dynamic chairman of CIRC, Devendra Sumani ji, Manisha ji again, the chairperson of the branch, Ranchi branch, Praveen Sharma ji, Prabhat Kumar ji, Sandeep Jalan ji, Vineet Agarwal ji, Pankaj Makkad, the dynamic CP chairman, and Nisha ji, my seniors in the profession, friends, boys and girls. A very good afternoon to all of you. First of all, I want to congratulate Ranchi branch for organizing this very important VCM on very important topic, which is, I am sure that we all are going to be benefited after today's session, since our learned speaker is a very renowned speaker and he is having the command on the subject. I'm not talking about the subject, I am just willing to discuss or interact 2-3 points. As we all know that our country as well as globe is having a very huge pandemic, but it's my personal opinion, or you will agree also, that we are personally quarantined, physically quarantined, but not the mentally. So considering the global opportunities which we are expecting for our country, we have to think, plan, and note it down how we will cope up the opportunities जैसे ही वो हमारे देश में opportunities आने वाली हैं. And it hardly matters the place. Few members are saying that we are from a small place, we are from a small town. It hardly matters for our global opportunities. So I request all the members, please, when things will open, and with positive approach, with positive mindset, we have to grab those opportunity. And I also believe that power of the spoken word is very effective. जैसा अगर हम बोलेंगे, जैसा हम सोचेंगे, वैसा होगा, जरूर होगा ऐसा. So and one thing more, the kindness जो है वो थोड़ा सा इस समय जो tough time चल रहा है, considering that scenario, and which is going to be for few more months. So someone said that kindness never goes out of fashion. So we should be taking care of our clients, society at large, our government, country as a whole. So that is why our profession makes us proud. So we should think in that manner. And I personally request my seniors in the profession that our new chartered accountants who have just qualified or who have not yet engaged somewhere, so we should take care of those new members of our bigger family. So there were a lot of announcement by SMP committees, and which are under consideration, and which are MOUs are under finalization. I request the chairperson, and the entire committee of the Ranchi branch. When these announcements made by our ICI SMP committee, then we will have to organize at least 1 hour this year for the benefits of the member. So ये हम लोग कर लेंगे. And lastly, please take care of your health and family as well, and stay happy and keep smiling. और 2 लाइनों के साथ, उलझनों का बोझ दिल से उतार दो. उलझने तो बहुत है हमारे प्रोफेशन में. वी आर इन ए प्रोफेशन वेयर देयर इज ऑलवेज ए स्ट्रेस. बहुत छोटी सी है जिंदगी, हंसकर गुजार दो. थैंक यू सो मच. थैंक यू सो मच. थैंक यू. Over to MOC.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. Now, moving forward, I would like to invite CA Devendra Somani, Chairman, TIRC, for his speech. Somani, sir.
Yes, sir.
Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, MOC, CA Pankaj Makkarji. Today's learned speaker and Central Council member from Eastern Region, CA Debashish Mitra ji, CA Manisha Biani ji, very vibrant chairperson of the Ranchi branch, CA Praveen Sharma ji, Vice Chairman of Ranchi branch, CA Prabhat Kumar ji, very dynamic secretary of Ranchi branch, CA Pankaj Makkarji, my younger brother and very dynamic CP committee chairman, Sandeep Jalanji, immediate past chairman, CA Nisha ji, and my elder brother in the regional council, CA Atul Mehrotra ji, and the senior members of the Ranchi branch and viewers of CP meeting on standard of auditing issues relating to COVID scenario. Friends, a very good evening to all of you. And first of all, I am thankful to entire managing committee of the Ranchi branch to giving me this opportunity to share my views on this VCM organized by the Ranchi branch. Friends, we at CARC level are trying our level best to serve the members as well as the students of this profession. And for this, we have requested all the branches to appoint one SSP portal coordinator so that members will take help of benefit of that person at their local level. So 90% of the problems which are due to practical lack of knowledge will be resolved at the branch level. And most of the branches have appointed already, and those who have not appointed will appoint soon, so that in the next week we are organizing a training program for that SSP coordinator. Second, we have organized one more program that if you have any queries, yeah, any matters which are pending at CIRC or at our ICI level, then you can write a mail to directly to CIRC helpdesk@ici.in, or mark a copy to chairman CIRC@ici.in. And if your problem is not resolved, then you can meet directly to me at 11 a.m. on every Friday. So every Friday your chairman will be available through Zoom software. And friends, I am very happy to inform you that after CIRC, now all 4 regions, EIRC, SIRC, NIRC and WRC have started this program. And due to this program, the major benefit is that the image of the profession, the transparency at the ICI level will be communicated to the members and students. तो मेंबर्स और स्टूडेंट को ये नहीं लगेगा कि साहब हम इंस्टीट्यूट को फोन करते हैं, कोई फोन नहीं उठाता है. जब मैं बोल रहा हूँ चेयरमैन एवरी डे एवरी वीक 11 से 12 आ रहा है, तो कोई ये क्लेम ये कंप्लेंट कर ही नहीं सकता है कि इंस्टीट्यूट में हम फोन करते हैं, फोन नहीं लग रहा है या फोन नहीं उठा रहा है. आपकी कोई भी कंप्लेंट है, पांचों चेयरमैन, मतलब ऐसा पहली बार हुआ, पांचों चेयरमैन 11 से 12 के बीच में ऑनलाइन सारी जगह अवेलेबल हैं. तो आपकी जो भी प्रॉब्लम है उसको सॉल्व करने के लिए हम लोग कर रहे हैं. और इसके पिछले करीब 4 वीक से हम लोग कर रहे हैं, बाकी रीजन में 2 या 3 वीक हुए हैं, और इसका बहुत अच्छा रिस्पॉन्स आ रहा है फ्रेंड्स. तो फ्रेंड्स, हमारी आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है आप इसका मैक्सिमम यूज करें, और इस पे आप मेल करके अपनी जो भी क्वेरीज हैं वो सॉर्ट आउट कराएं. नाउ विदाउट टेकिंग मच ऑफ अवर टाइम, बिकॉज आज हमारा जो टेक्निकल सब्जेक्ट है स्टैंडर्ड ऑन ऑडिटिंग, तो हमें मित्रा सर को सुनना है, और चूंकि टेक्निकल सब्जेक्ट में उनकी काफी एक्सपर्टीज है, तो मैं उस पे नहीं जाके डायरेक्टली हैंड ओवर करूंगा माइक अपने एमओसी पंकज मक्कड़ जी को. तो थैंक यू एंड ओवर टू एमओसी.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for sharing the initiative of ICI, firstly initiated by CIRC. Thanks a lot, sir. Moving forward, I would like to invite our learned speaker. Before handing over to him, I would give a brief profile about our speaker, CA Dr. Debashish Mitra. Dr. Debashish Mitra is a chartered accountant, cost accountant. So I already made it very brief, but still there are so many things that still it will take at least 1 minute for the brief stuff also. Dr. Debashish Mitra is a chartered accountant, cost accountant and company secretary. He is also law graduate and holds a master degree in commerce. Sir is also qualified information system auditor. He has done his PhD degree on for the thesis a critical study of Indian GAAP, US GAAP and IFRS. He is a partner at Debashish Mitra and Associates. Sir was re-elected in Central Council of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India for a 3-year term from 2019 to 22. He is presently the chairman of Board of Studies of ICI, also vice chairman of Audit and Assurance Board. He is also member of Disciplinary Committee Bench 4 of ICI. He is also director of Accounting Research Foundation set up by ICI. There are numerous other qualifications and nominations, and his exposure during his chairmanship in Eastern region. So skipping that, I would directly give the mic to Debashish Mitra for this session. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Pankaj, for your short introduction. First of all, to the chairperson of this branch, Manisha Biani ji, I can see her smiling there. I have never met her, but I'm seeing her on the screen. The very respected chairman of CIRC, Devendra Somani ji, the vice chairman, Atul Mehrotra ji. Thank you very much, Atul ji, for contacting me. And because of you, I'm here. The CP committee chairman of this branch. Thank you very much. The CP committee of this branch, CP committee chairman of this branch, thank you very much for having spoken to me in the morning today, and all the members who are present here. I think we are touching about 50. I hope that we'll get more as we go ahead. Fantastic. A very, very good evening to all of you. My great pleasure in coming and speaking on the platform of Ranchi branch. You know, I have come to Ranchi many times before. When I was going to Jamshedpur, I used to fly down from Delhi to Ranchi, and to Raulkela or to all these other branches of my region, and from there take a car and go to Raulkela or places like that. I've spoken many times in Jamshedpur. I believe long time back I spoke in Ranchi, but it's my great pleasure to be here and sharing my thoughts with you. Auditing standards. Institute the Q is, and with your permission, I will alternate between Hindi and English, and we'll make it very, very enjoyable. And you see, because why institute auditing standards compulsory कर दिया दो घंटा का? Because people they thought that दो चीज हम लोग को नहीं सीखना है. एक auditing standards और दो code of conduct, code of ethics. दोनों को 2 घंटा कर दिया. Because people they felt that moral science classes हम लोग कर लिए class 10 तक, हम लोग को सब ethical standards सब पता है, एक code of ethics कौन पढ़ेगा? So you see, that is why, and now with the new code of ethics coming from 1st of July 2020, is to make that compulsory. Auditing standards अभी क्या है? आपका कंपनीज एक्ट में अगर आप छोटा सा भी कंपनी हो, मैं सब छोटा सा कंपनी के बारे में बोलूंगा रांची में, मैं बहुत बड़ा कंपनी लिस्टेड कंपनी के ज्यादा जिक्र नहीं करूंगा, because I know that you are dealing with small companies. And you see, section 143 subsection 10 1/4/2014 से ये लागू हो गया. It became applicable from 1/4/2014. What does it say? It says that all the auditing standards have now become compulsory. So अगर आप कोई भी कंपनी को ऑडिट करते हो, if you are the auditor of any company, in that case, you see, you have to follow the auditing standards. 1/4/2014 का पहले क्या स्थिति था? The auditing standards were the ones the institute had recommended. If you did not follow the auditing standards and if there was a professional misconduct, then the institute will take disciplinary action against you. But from 1/4/2014, when the Companies Act 2013 came into being, these auditing standards have got a legal sanction now. इसमें क्या हो गया अभी कि the government of India is telling us, as part of the Companies Act, that आपको auditing standards follow करना ही पड़ेगा अगर आप audit कर रहे हैं तो. And this became compulsory from 1/4/2014. Section 143, subsection 10 of the Companies Act, और हम लोग का 46 auditing standards है. 46 auditing standards, almost all of them are conversed with the international audit and assurance standards. They are almost same. मैं अभी आपके साथ में थोड़ा distinction करना चाहूँगा. Accounting standards, section 133 of the Companies Act, accounting standards. You know that we have 2 platforms. रांची में मेरे ख्याल से सब लोग, unless you are very lucky to do listed companies, हम लोग AS करते हैं. AS is part of the Companies Accounting Standard Rules 2006, which was issued on 7th of December 2006. तो हम लोग जब ऐसी audit करते हैं और accounts करते हैं या audit जब करते हैं, and when we go and check, we usually go and check what we have done as per the accounting standards. If you are a big company, if you are lucky enough to do the audit of a big company like a listed company or a company having a net worth of more than 250 crores, then you have to go for something called Ind AS. Ind AS is, you see, IFRS का जैसा है. It's about 98% IFRS. कुछ carve-outs है, about 8 or 9 carve-outs are there in comparison to IFRS. So for accounting standards, we have 2 platforms. एक है AS, जो शायद रांची में सब फॉलो करते होंगे, और एक है Ind AS. अगर आप बहुत लकी हो, आपका लिस्टेड कंपनी का ऑडिट है, या आप कोई ये बहुत बड़ा PSU का ऑडिट करते हो, then in that case, you see, you have to follow Ind AS. ठीक है? अभी आपका सवाल, before I come to auditing standards, I'm just taking you through the basics, right? So that, see, we have a good interactive, and I will take your questions also at the end. I'll try to speak for about an hour, and then I'll take your questions. Purposefully, I'm not making a PPT so that I can interact with you with this thing, directly.
Very nice.
अगर आप financial statement, balance sheet, PL, अगर आप, if you are going to draw a balance sheet and PL of a company, मैं company का balance sheet and PL का बात कर रहा हूँ, where will you get the format? The format of balance sheet or PL of a company is in Schedule 3 to the Companies Act. Schedule 3 to the Companies Act gives you the format of the balance sheet and PL of a company. उस Schedule 3 में आपका 3 division है. एक division 1 है, अगर आप जो कंपनी फॉलो कर रहा है, if it is a non-Ind-AS company, Division 2 contains the format of balance sheet and PL of an Ind-AS company. And Division 3 of Schedule 3 contains the format of balance sheet and PL of an NBFC. So, you see, if you are looking for balance sheet format or PL format, you have to go for Division 1, Division 2, or Division 3 of Schedule 3. मैं थोड़ा बेसिक्स का बात कर रहा हूँ because some of you are already aware of this. मैं अभी आपको कुछ कहानी सुनाऊंगा केस स्टडीज। मैं आपको अभी बोल दिया इस फॉर्मेट ऑफ दिस कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट। एक साल पहले, एंड आई एम बेसिकली बेस्ड इन कैलकाटा बट आई एम ओरिजिनली फ्रॉम गुवाहाटी। तो एक साल पहले ये जो सज्जन है भाई साहब, एंड काउंसिल मेंबर्स आप जानेंगे, सोमानी जी भी आपको बोलेंगे या मेहरोत्वा जी भी आपको बोलेंगे कि लॉट ऑफ मेंबर्स दे कम टू अस कि ये सी दिस इज ए प्रॉब्लम। अभी आपका चेयरमैन साहब आपको एसएसपी पोर्टल के बारे में बोल रहे थे, एंड यू सी योर काउंसिल मेंबर फ्रॉम कानपुर मिस्टर मनु अग्रवाल हैज डन लॉट ऑफ वर्क ऑन एसएसपी पोर्टल। उनका he has done lot of his contribution is immense on the SSP portal, let me tell you. So and it's very good of CIRC मेहरोत्वा जी कि आप लोग को SSP पोर्टल को इसी आगे बढ़ा रहे हो, इसको इसी you are trying to popularize it. Very good, very nice, very nice. And I'm very happy that the chairman of CIRC is also meeting the members on Friday at 11 o'clock. So that is separate. So एक मैं मेहरोत्वा जी को देख के मुझे याद आया क्योंकि सी वी आर ऑल काउंसिल मेंबर्स, तो क्या होता है कि मेंबर्स लोग आते रहते हैं। तो एक साल पहले मेरा ऑफिस में ये भाई साहब आ गए कलकत्ता का ऑफिस में, तो आके मुझे बोला कि सी देवाशीष जी मुझे आरओसी से एक नोटिस आया। मैं बोला क्या चीज का नोटिस आया? वो बहुत घबराए हुए थे और एट द सेम टाइम बहुत गुस्से में थे आरओसी की तरफ से, आरओसी के खिलाफ में। बोला कि देवाशीष जी ये आरओसी ने लिखता है कि मेरा कंपनी ने कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट प्रिपेयर नहीं किया। मैं कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट का जिक्र कर रहा हूँ कि कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट प्रिपेयर नहीं किया, और ये मुझे एक कंपनी को भी शो कॉज दिया, मुझे भी शो कॉज दिया कि मैंने कैसे बैलेंस शीट साइन कर दिया या कैसे ऑडिट रिपोर्ट दिया विदाउट ए कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट। और वो मुझे बोला कि देवाशीष जी मेरा कंपनी बहुत छोटा सा एक प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी, छोटा सा प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी। बोलते मेरे हिसाब से the cash flow statement is required to be prepared only for big companies, public limited companies, listed companies. ये cash flow statement मेरा छोटा सा कंपनी ने प्रिपेयर नहीं किया, और देखिए आरओसी ने ऐसा नोटिस दे दिया। आप बताइए, मुझे आके बोला कि देखिए देवाशीष जी, you please draft a strong reply on my behalf to आरओसी। उसको बोलिए कि उनको कंपनीज एक्ट ठीक से मालूम नहीं है। हाँ, बोला आप हम लोग का काउंसिल मेंबर हो, रिप्रेजेंटेटिव हो, आप ड्राफ्ट कीजिए। तो हम बोला कि भाई साहब एक मिनट, हम बोला कि भाई साहब थोड़ा ये बताइए आपका कंपनी के बारे में मुझे थोड़ा बताइए। बोलता है ये प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी है। बोला बहुत अच्छा। हम बोला कि आपका भाई साहब इस कंपनी का पेड अप कैपिटल कितना है? बोलता है कि देवाशीष जी सिर्फ 20 लाख रुपया। हम बोला बहुत अच्छा। तो हम बोले कि इस कंपनी का टर्नओवर कितना है ये बताइए। बोलता है कि टर्नओवर ओनली 2 crore 70 lakhs सर, ओनली 2 crore 70 lakhs। बोलता है कि इतना छोटा कंपनी में ऐसा कैश फ्लो होता है क्या? हम बोलता है कि भाई साहब आप बुरा ना माने, पर आरओसी साहब ने जो नोटिस दिया ना वो सही नोटिस दिया। वो मेरे तरफ देखते रह गया। You see, he was looking at me and he was very stunned. बोलता है कि how? I said that sir, you see, if you look at section 2 subsection 40 of the Companies Act, ये बोलता है कि कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट कुछ कंपनी के लिए प्रिपरेशन का जरूरत नहीं। One of the condition is this: small company के लिए कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट जरूरत नहीं है। You need not prepare a cash flow statement for a small company. So I said that, you see, what is a small company? A small company is a private limited company whose paid up capital does not exceed 50 lakhs or whose turnover does not exceed 2 crores. Please note, only in those kind of companies cash flow statement is not required. If you are a private limited company whose paid up capital does not exceed 50 lakhs and whose turnover does not exceed 2 crores. In the case that he had brought to me, the turnover was 2 crores, not a small company. Once it is not a small company, cash flow statement is applicable and a company is required to prepare a cash flow statement. Yeah, that's the first thing I'm telling you to my Rachi friends, that you see, ये बहुत ज़्यादा नजरअंदाज मत कीजिएगा। हम लोग बहुत ज़्यादा नजरअंदाज करते हैं regarding preparation of cash flow statement. So you see, please do that. And अगर आप cash flow statement prepare करेंगे, so you have to go for accounting standard 3, AS3. AS3 में there are 2 methods of preparing cash flow. direct method, indirect method. Plus हम लोग सब CA पास किए थे, and many of us I can see young faces. बहुत ज्यादा पुराना हम लोग बहुत ज्यादा. I am a very senior person, वो छोड़िए, but many of you are very young, you see young people. So you see ACE3 and he gives you how to prepare a cash flow. और वो बोलता है कि आप अगर कैश फ्लो प्रिपेयर करेंगे, आपका दो मेथड है, डायरेक्ट मेथड, इनडायरेक्ट मेथड. और ACE3 बोलता है कि अगर आप इनडायरेक्ट मेथड अपनाएंगे तो आपको ज्यादा सुविधा रहेगा. So cash flow is applicable. If you are a small company, then you can see, get exemption from cash flow. Otherwise, cash flow आपको बनाना पड़ेगा. And you see cash flow अगर आप बनाएंगे, so you please refer to Accounting Standard 3, which talks about the method of preparing cash flow, direct method, indirect method. अगर आप indirect method अपनाएंगे तो आपके लिए सुविधा है. I am still not gone into audit. मैं audit में अभी तक आया नहीं. मैं सिर्फ आपको ये कर रहा हूँ. I'm just trying to get you into the groove of getting things, because many of you are having this mentality that ये जो auditing standard है क्या करेंगे Friday evening, अभी कितना इसमें सुनेंगे सब. So you see what I'm trying to do is this, take you through lot of examples. I can see the chairperson smiling at me. That's very nice, because see I can see that I'm having her attention. Very good. So you see, we can have a good time together. So अभी हम लोग का जब हुआ क्या हुआ इंस्टीट्यूट में, मैं जो मुझे अभी एक्सप्लेन जब इंट्रोड्यूस किया गया था, तो मुझे बोला गया था कि मैं वाइस चेयरमैन ऑडिट एंड एश्योरेंस स्टैंडर्ड्स बोर्ड में. मैं आई एम आल्सो चेयरमैन ऑफ BOS, और BOS के बारे में मैं पीछे बोलूंगा ब्रांच के लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा. बट आई एम आल्सो द वाइस चेयरमैन ऑफ ऑडिट एंड एश्योरेंस स्टैंडर्ड. जब ये कोविड आया अप्रैल महीना में, हम लोग को बहुत दबाव दिया गया कि भाई फॉर मेनी ऑफ द बिग कंपनीज बोलता है कि 31 मार्च को हम लोग फिजिकल वेरिफिकेशन ऑफ इन्वेंटरी नहीं कर सके. We could not do physical verification. Not only we could not do, the company also could not do. अगर फिजिकल वेरिफिकेशन ऑफ इन्वेंटरी हम लोग नहीं कर सके, in that case what to do? अरे एक ऑडिटर अगर मई महीना में साइन कर रहा है ऑडिट रिपोर्ट, तो वो क्या करेगा? Now regarding physical verification of inventory, there is a separate auditing standard. अगर आप लोग नंबर नोट करना चाहे तो SA 541, SA 541. That is the auditing standard, number of auditing standard for inventory verification. तो हम लोग जब उसका गाइडेंस नोट निकाल रहे थे, तो हम लोग के पास ये सवाल आया कि सर अगर ये कंपनी कोई फिजिकल वेरिफिकेशन इन्वेंटरी करता ही नहीं है 31 मार्च का, जो हो सकता है अभी कोविड के सिचुएशन में शायद फिजिकल वेरिफिकेशन ऑफ इन्वेंटरी ना हो, तो अभी व्हाट टू. सो ये जो स्टैंडर्ड है, ये स्टैंडर्ड दो चीज जिक्र करता है. एसे 541 बोलता है रोल बैक या रोल फॉरवर्ड. See, so I'm using a very simple terms, but वो स्टैंडर्ड में अगर आप पढ़ेंगे, आप रोल बैक रोल फॉरवर्ड सुनते ही आपको लगेगा ये सब बाप रे, ये सब तो बिग फोर का टर्म है, हम लोग को मालूम नहीं आएगा. What is roll back and what is roll forward? Roll forward is अगर आपने लास्ट फिजिकल वेरिफिकेशन इन्वेंटरी फरवरी महीना में किया है, if you have done it in February 2020, and if your stock records are maintained properly, in that case from February 2020 you go on calculating, add reconciliation कीजिए to get the stock as on 31st of March 2020, right? February 2020 से stock लेके आप stock records देख के and you find out what is the stock as on 31st of March 2020. That is called roll forward. Roll back means अगर आप 31st March में inventory verification नहीं किए, but आपने अप्रैल महीना में इन्वेंटरी वेरिफिकेशन किया है, you have done the inventory verification in the month of April. In that case, back calculate to find out what is the inventory as on 31st of March 2020 from April 2020 inventory. उसको बोलता है कि roll back. So you see, I told you roll forward and roll back. So you see, this is there in SA 541. They are talking about roll forward and roll back. Simple terms. हम लोग बोल रहे कि ये रोल फॉरवर्ड और रोल बैक कीजिए, आपको हो जाएगा. बोलता है कि सर कुछ ये सवाल आ गया. And I'm sure you have heard Amarjit Chopra ji and all this. We used to speak in lot of seminars together. Somebody asked us a question. सर ऐसा है कि मेरा जो क्लाइंट है थोड़ा बड़ा है सर. हम बोला बहुत अच्छा. बोलता है कि सर हम लोग का ना जो 31 मार्च का जो इन्वेंटरी वेरिफिकेशन था, हम लोग जूम में देख रहे हैं ना एक दूसरे को, बोलता है कि वो जूम में इन्वेंटरी वेरिफिकेशन हो गया. मैं अपना ऑफिस से बैठ के और जूम में मैं इन्वेंटरी वेरिफिकेशन देखना चालू किया. एंड बोला कि सर ये जो जूम में मैंने जो देखा What is the opinion? Institute का क्या opinion है? Whether it is correct, this physical verification of inventory is correct or not? What is the institute opinion? तो हमने फिर वो कोविड का जो आपका गाइडेंस नोट है उसको हम लोग एक इन्वेंट्री वेरिफिकेशन के लिए सेपरेट निकाले। हम लोग बोला कि आप बेशक जूम में वेरिफिकेशन कीजिए, हम लोग का उसमें कोई ये नहीं है, कोई शिकायत नहीं है, बट प्लीज नोट you have to use professional skepticism. Professional skepticism means you have to see whether the Zoom verification covers the whole verification of inventory. Number one. Number two, अब Zoom में how will you find out the obsolescence of stock? आपका स्टॉक कोई खराब हो गया नहीं हुआ, वो Zoom में तो आप देख नहीं सकते. How will you find out that? So we said that the institute is not against video verification of inventory, but the institute cannot say that जो भी आप video verification किया है that is the right thing to do and that is the way to do. So we took a stand that institute is not against video verification, but you have to use your own professional skepticism to ensure that whatever is there in the video verification is up to the standard and the quality is not compromised. So that is what the stand was of the institute. अभी दूसरा बोला, ये अकाउंट्स ने बोला कि सर आप ना हम लोग इन्वेंट्री वैल्यूएशन सिखाए हैं कि the inventory should be valued at cost or net realizable value whichever is lower. शायद हम लोग सब जानते हैं AS2 accounting standard 2 cost or net realizable value whichever is lower. मुझे बोला गया, हम लोग को बोला कि सर एक कंपनी है, इसका जो इन्वेंट्री है 31 मार्च का, इसका इन्वेंट्री खराब हो गया बिकॉज कोविड के लिए ये आगे बिजनेस नहीं कर पाया एंड इसका इन्वेंट्री जो है हालत खराब हो गया. अगर आपका कॉस्ट है 10 रुपया तो इन्वेंट्री का अभी मार्केट वैल्यू जो है वो 5 रुपया है. सो व्हाट इज द वैल्यू ऑफ द इन्वेंट्री यू शुड टेक ऑन रिकॉर्ड्स एंड वी सेड दैट यू हैव टू टेक इट एट 5 रुपीस बिकॉज द वैल्यू ऑफ द इन्वेंट्री एज फॉर AS2 you have to take the value of the inventory at cost or net realizable value whichever is lower. ठीक है. अभी हम लोग का सवाल आया, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट सवाल आया. आई डोंट नो हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू हैव डन इट इन बैंक ऑडिट, यू हैव डन इट. सो सर क्या हम लोग अभी ये कोविड का टाइम में सर मेरा क्लाइंट है रांची में क्लाइंट है, तो रांची का शायद जमशेदपुर में मेरा क्लाइंट है, मैं तो हम जमशेदपुर में जा नहीं सकता हूँ साइन करने के लिए, या मैं रांची में ही है क्लाइंट है बट मैं लॉकडाउन में हूँ. हाउ कैन आई गो एंड फिजिकली साइन द ऑडिट रिपोर्ट ऑफ माई क्लाइंट? तो क्या मैं दिस ऑडिट रिपोर्ट, क्या मैं डिजिटल सिग्नेचर से मैं ऑडिट रिपोर्ट साइन कर सकता हूं? ये सवाल हम लोग से इंस्टीट्यूट से पूछा गया. एंड द इंस्टीट्यूट गेव एन एडवाइजरी, ऑडिट एंड एश्योरेंस स्टैंडर्ड्स बोर्ड गेव एन एडवाइजरी दैट यस, if it is not possible to physically sign your audit report, then you may sign the audit report by in the digital mode. That is, you use your digital signature and you may sign the audit report. So please note, that was also a very, very important clarification given by the institute. ठीक, ये हो गया इन्वेंट्री. अगर आपका कोई सवाल हो तो आप नोट कीजिएगा. आई विल बी वेरी वेरी हैप्पी टू आंसर यू. ठीक है. नाउ एक चीज है एक्सटर्नल कॉन्फर्म, सॉरी मैनेजमेंट रिप्रेजेंटेशन SA 580. अगर आपको आप लोग अगर नंबर नोट कर रहे हो, ऑडिटिंग स्टैंडर्ड SA 580. मैनेजमेंट रिप्रेजेंटेशन क्या बोलता है? इट सेज दैट इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट, और अगर आपको इन्वेंट्री वैल्यूएशन के लिए आपको चाहिए, इंपेयरमेंट ऑफ एसेट्स के लिए आपको चाहिए, डिप्रिसिएशन सही हो क्या है कि नहीं आपको चाहिए, तो आप मैनेजमेंट से लिखवा सकते हैं कि दिस इज द पोजीशन. आप मैनेजमेंट से लिख के अपने पास रख सकते हैं. ठीक है, ये मैनेजमेंट से लिख के अपने पास रख सकते हैं. So that is very good. You see, you can write, you can get this thing from management. Now, the issue arose before us, SA 580, sorry, that whether the management representation is the only tool for audit, or there can be, you see, or it is one of the tools for audit. And the institute viewpoint was that management representation is one of the tools for audit. It is not the only tool for audit. And those of us who are listening, you'll be hearing me, please note, I will give you an illustration जहाँ में management representation गड़बड़ हो गया. गड़बड़ कैसे हो गया? I was doing the audit of a company in the month of May. आप जानते हैं हम लोग जो कंपनी का ऑडिट करते हैं, छोटे से कंपनी में, बड़ा कंपनी की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, हम लोग को वहां में एक कमेंट देना पड़ता है that none of the directors are disqualified under section 164 subsection 2 of the Companies Act. हम लोग हर एक जो भी हम लोग प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी का ऑडिट करते हैं, हम लोग उसको देते हैं. That comment. तो ये जो कंपनी का हम ऑडिट कर रहे थे, तो हम देखा कि भाई इसका जो डायरेक्टर है, they have not given a signed declaration about that they are not disqualified. तो मैंने कंपनी से मैनेजमेंट रिप्रेजेंटेशन मांगा कि let me know that you see whether the directors are disqualified under section 164(2) or not. कंपनी ने मैनेजमेंट रिप्रेजेंटेशन दे दिया कि none of the directors are disqualified under section 164. दे दिया मुझे. तो मेरा ऑफिस में there was this AC article assistant who is a CA finalist. वो क्या किया, वो जाके वो दे दिया. तो मैं तो इसी you will find that you see one moves about here and there when once one the हम लोग अभी काउंसिल में इतना मूवमेंट नहीं कर रहे because of COVID, पर जब हम लोग इसी otherwise till March इसी 15 days travel we have to do. तो this article assistant वो क्या किया, and this is for you, वो ROC का मास्टर डेटा में चला गया. मास्टर डेटा में जाके देखा कि सर उसमें 3 डायरेक्टर में 1 डायरेक्टर डिस्क्वालीफाइड है. Whereas कंपनी ने मुझे मैनेजमेंट रिप्रेजेंटेशन दे दिया कि none of the directors are disqualified. So the point is never blindly rely on the management representation. SA 580 never blindly. इसको हर दम क्रॉस चेक कीजिएगा. Management representation is only one of the tools and not the only tool for audit. हम लोग मैनेजमेंट रिप्रेजेंटेशन इस्तेमाल कीजिएगा, बट इसको हर दम क्रॉस चेक कीजिएगा. ना मैंने आपको मैनेजमेंट रिप्रेजेंटेशन इसी इंटरनल रिप्रेजेंटेशन, इंटरनल कंफर्मेशन जो मैनेजमेंट देता है. मैं आपको अभी दूसरा एक स्टैंडर्ड, दिस आर ऑल 500 स्टैंडर्ड सीरीज, मैं दूसरा स्टैंडर्ड में लेके जाता हूं. SA 505 एक्सटर्नल कंफर्मेशंस. आपका जो डेटास है, हम लोग क्या लिखते हैं, इसी confirmation letters have been sent for confirmation of debtors, but all these debtors are pending confirmation. हम लोग ऐसा लिखते हैं आपका notes and accounts में. अब अगर आपका जो भी debtors है, the debtors that you are having, जिसको हम लोग अभी trade receivables बोलते हैं, I think in Ranchi also, you say how many confirmations do you take? You don't take confirmations, right? So इसे हम लोग को notes and accounts में देख देते हैं, these are all pending confirmations, देख देते हैं. SA 505 बोलता है एक्सटर्नल कंफर्मेशन. SA 505 ये बोलता है कि भाई साहब ऐसा नहीं चलेगा. बोलता है कि भाई आप अगर कंफर्मेशन आपको नहीं आया तो आप ऐसा कीजिए, अब देखिए कि 31 मार्च 2020 के बाद में whether you have got any kind of payment from these debtors, उसको थोड़ा तो आप क्रॉस चेक कीजिए. मई महीना में कोई पेमेंट तो आया कि नहीं, वो तो थोड़ा देखिए. अगर वो आ गया तो you can cross check on the debtors. But अगर उसपे कोई नहीं आया and the debtors are more than 3 years old, तो ये debtors तो आपका खराब हो गया. And then you see in that case you should write in your report that the debtors are all gone. You see all the debtors are all doubtful. You should write. तो हम लोग जब लिखते हैं ना notes on accounts that all the debtors, the confirmation letters have been sent and these are all pending confirmation, इसमें खतरा हो जाता है. You see, SA 505 external confirmation बोलता है कि आपको ना इसको थोड़ा चेक करना पड़ेगा, आपको थोड़ा alternate audit procedures लगाना पड़ेगा, देखना पड़ेगा कि 31 मार्च 2020 के बाद में what is the position in these debtors. 3 साल के ऊपर में अगर debtors है तो what is the position. SA 505 external confirmation बहुत important essay है, external confirmation SA 505. ठीक है, so I have taken you through. I am only taking the essays which I think are important for Ranchi. I am not taking any high fund essays. I am not taking any high fund auditing standards. I am not taking this. अभी उस दिन हम और I mentioned a gentleman's name for whom I have very high regard, Amarjit Chopra ji. We were speaking at a seminar. तो हम लोग का सवाल पूछा गया regarding going concern. SA 570 going concern. Going concern क्या है? Going concern says that the company will be in a position to function normally in the foreseeable future. Basically, going concern. SA 570, company will be in a position to function normally in the foreseeable future. And what is foreseeable future? Foreseeable future is at least, please note, at least 12 months from the balance sheet date. That is, if the company will function normally till 31st of March 2021, then if you are doing the audit of 31st March 2020, then going concern is there, right? So that is the whole idea. Then going concern is there, so that is the whole idea. Okay? So going concern is there. अभी बात चला कि सर मेरा कंपनी जो है इसका नेटवर्क नेगेटिव है। 31 मार्च 2020 में मेरा कंपनी का नेटवर्क नेगेटिव है। जो डेटास जो है, डेटास आर आल्सो नॉट रिकवरेबल। आज डेटास का 3-3 साल पुराना सब 4 साल 5 साल पुराना डेटास, इतना सब पुराना डेटास। सेल्स जो है वो मेरा 90% घट गया है इन 31 मार्च 2020। In that case, sir, what do you think is the situation of my going concern? Right? For example, Air India, uska halat kharab hai. What is the position of going concern? Now, please note, the going concern assessment has to be done by the management. Going concern assessment has to be done by the management. Management dekhega whether the company is in a position to function normally in the next 12 months, at least the next 12 months. But as an auditor, you have to challenge that going concern concept. अगर आप देखते हो कि कंपनी का नेटवर्क ही नेगेटिव है, कंपनी का डेटा इरिकवरेबल है, कंपनी का सेल्स 90% घट गया है, इन दैट केस अगर वो गोइंग कंसर्न का हिसाब से अकाउंट्स करता है, then you see, you are the company, you should as an auditor qualify your report, because if the company is not a going concern, the accounts are required to be prepared on a realization basis, as if the company is going to get sold, and then the accounts are required to be prepared on a realization basis. So please note that going concern is going to be very, very important for this year in the during time of COVID, when you see, you know that you may not be in the companies could be in very big trouble with the survival issue. So मैंने आपको going concern दे दिया, management representation, inventory हमने ले लिया. मैं अभी आता हूँ इसी on this issue of auditor's report. Auditor's report, I am coming. And this is part of the 700 series. SS 700, 701, 705, 706. I will tell you, I was speaking at Delhi in the month of, say, December last year. And there was a very big crowd on audit and assurance standards in a 5-star hotel in Delhi. So, जब हम बोल रहे थे, one gentleman, he stood up, very young, started accountant. बोले सर, मैं जब audit report लिखता हूँ, independent auditor's report, I am writing that. I said yes. So he said that, sir, my independent auditor's report, when I am writing, the format is as per SS 700. That's the auditing standard. SS 700 has the format of your independent auditor's report. हम बोला ठीक है, एकदम you are very correct. But sir, हम वहाँ में लिखते हैं, we have carried out the audit of stand-alone financial statements of X company. वो बोलता है कि सर, मेरे अंडरस्टैंडिंग में और मेरे ख्याल से रांची में भी शायद ये अंडरस्टैंडिंग होगा कि स्टैंड-अलोन मींस, मैं कब स्टैंड-अलोन टर्म यूज करता हूं, आप अगर जो ऑडिट रिपोर्ट साइन किए होंगे, you just see whether you have seen, we have carried out the audit of stand-alone financial statements. तो वो बोला कि सर मेरे हिसाब से stand-alone financial statements means जे एक प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी है जो इंडिपेंडेंट है, and I have signed a small private limited company, उसके लिए मुझे stand-alone financial statements लिखना चाहिए. So he said that, sir, is my understanding right? There must have been about 600, 700 chartered accountants. This boy, I could see that he must have passed about 2 years back. I did not want to embarrass him. I said that, look, unfortunately, your understanding is not right. And I think, you see, whatever your understanding is, so many of the other members who are sitting in this room, they also have a similar understanding. So one senior man who was sitting in the front row, he stood up. He said, Devashish ji, in that case, ये standalone कब लिखना चाहिए, standalone कब नहीं लिखना चाहिए audit report में? मैं बोला कि कब standalone लिखना चाहिए? If your company is part of a bigger group, that is, if you are having a holding company, you are having an associate, you are having a joint venture, and if a CFS is prepared, CFS means consolidated financial statements is prepared. If a company is part of a bigger group, and if a consolidated financial statement is prepared, in that case, suppose company A is there, which is a subsidiary, company B is the holding, and company C is the associate. In such a situation, If you are doing the audit of company B, which is the subsidiary, or company C, which is the associate, please write standalone. We have carried out the standalone financial statements. But if you are doing the audit of a company which does not have any holding company, or which does not have any subsidiary, please do not use the word standalone. Please do not use the word standalone. Standalone आप तभी इस्तेमाल कर सकते हो to indicate that the company that you are auditing is part of a bigger group, that a consolidated financial statements are prepared. So please note that. ये बहुत important है आपको note करने के लिए कि standalone आप सिर्फ एक small private limited company के लिए आप don't use the term we have carried out the audit of standalone financial statements. Don't use the term. So I have come to standalone. I am still on SS 700. अभी SS 700 जब हम कर रहे हैं audit, तो हम आप अगर थोड़ा देखेंगे SS 700 में, तो वहां पे देता है कि we are giving a reasonable assurance. SS 700, please note, contains the format of auditor's reports. It contains the format of auditor's report. And if you see the SS 700, जो auditor's report आपने sign किया last time, वहां में दिया है कि we are giving a reasonable assurance, and that we do not give a guarantee that all misstatements could be detected by us. Now the question arises, what is a reasonable assurance, and what is, and this matter was being discussed in another seminar the other day. मुझे कोई बोला कि सर ये reasonable assurance का बात आप करते हो जो SS 700 में है. It is then SS 700. But sir, can you tell me what is absolute assurance and what is limited assurance? Can you tell me, sir, on these 2 points? When I give a reasonable assurance, I am giving a true and fair view. Please note that. If I give a absolute assurance, like form number 3 CD, tax audit report, I give a true and correct view, absolute assurance. When I give a limited assurance, when I do a limited review, I give a limited assurance. So please note that reasonable assurance, absolute assurance, limited assurance. Reasonable assurance is true and fair, absolute assurance is true and correct, and limited assurance is limited review that you do. So please note, so that is the most important point that you must note. Again, while speaking, now with this audit and assurance standards becoming, 2 hours, everybody has to do it. तो ये दूसरा कोई जगह में हम बोल रहे थे कि सर वो बोला कि सर आप मुझे क्वालिफिकेशन ऑफ ऑडिटर्स रिपोर्ट के बारे में थोड़ा अगर समझाएं तो I will be very happy. So then I said that in that case, my friend, let me take you through SS 705. SS 705. SS 705 talks about how to modify your audit report. SS 705 says how to modify your audit report. SS 705 says your audit report can be clean audit report, can be qualified audit report. Qualified audit report हम लोग जब लिखते हैं subject to, can be an adverse audit report. Adverse audit report means the balance sheet does not give a true and fair view. That is an adverse audit report. Or it can be disclaimer. अगर आप कोई evidence आपको नहीं मिला, and then you are, in that case you can write subject based on the facts stated above, we cannot comment on the truth and fairness of the financial statements. That is called a disclaimer. So you see, when you're doing an audit report, SS 705, you can have 4 situations. A clean report, you can have a adverse report, you can have a qualified report, you can have a disclaimer. Please note that you can have a disclaimer. So SS 705 बोलता है कि आपको ये चारों से you choose whatever you want to do and then you go ahead. So that is very important. You see SS 705. मैं अभी move करता हूँ to another standard called SS 706. Emphasis of matter and other matters. अगर आप लोग इस बार when you have done the bank audit this time, and if you have done it offsite, you might have used this standard called SS 706, or you should have used a separate standard called SS 701, which is for the key audit matters. But I am not talking about SS 701 now. 706 क्या बोलता है? 706 ये बोलता है कि भाई अगर आपका financial statement में कोई ऐसा चीज है जो notes and accounts में you have got it written in the notes and accounts, and you feel that should be again brought to the auditor's report without qualifying. You don't want to qualify, but without qualifying, that should be brought to the auditor's report. In that case, you use emphasis of matter. I will give you an illustration. हम लोग notes and accounts में लिखते हैं कि letters for confirmation have been sent to all the trade receivables. No confirmations have been received as yet. Consequently, the balances of trade receivables are subject to reconciliation. ये हम लोग पकड़िए लिखते हैं in the notes on accounts. We write that in the notes on accounts. We write that in notes on accounts. If you are using emphasis of matter, SS 706, इसमें आप क्या लिखेंगे? आपको लिखना पड़ेगा reference is being made to note number say 2.1 of the note to accounts, which states that the trade receivables are subject to confirmation. Full stop. Then you write, I'm giving you an example of emphasis of matter. Then you write, our report is not qualified or is not modified in respect of this matter. So emphasis of matter is when you don't want to qualify, but at the same time the matter is so important that you want to bring it to your main audit report. That is called emphasis of matter, SS 706. So I have taken you through SS 700, which contains the format of the auditor's report. SS 705, which talks about how to qualify your auditor's report. SS 706, which talks about how to use a emphasis of matter. मैंने आपको emphasis of matter क्या है मैं दिखा दूँ. There is something called SS 701, key audit matters. अगर आप सोचते हैं कि there is something which is of great importance, which you would like to bring to the notice of the readers of your auditor's report, you can use SS 701, key audit matters. But please note, SS 701 at the present moment is applicable only to listed companies. For other companies, it is optional. Many of you might have used key audit matters paragraph when you have done the bank audit this time. Many of you might have used the key audit matters paragraph when you have done the bank audit this time. Please note, SS 701 is the key audit matters. So very, very important. Very, very important, SS 701. So you see, I hope I have taken you through the important ones, 701 and this thing. Please note, on SS 701, on SS 705, on SS 701 is key audit matters, 700 is auditor's report format, 705 is the how to qualify your report, 706 is emphasis of matter on other matters. On all this, the institute has issued implementation guide. अगर आपको ज्यादा जानकारी इस स्टैंडर्ड के ऊपर में ज्यादा जानकारी आपको चाहिए, please go for the implementation guide as issued by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. You see, all the implementation guide has FAQs. You can study those FAQs and do it. Please note, even for going concern, we have issued implementation guides. Even for going concern, we have issued implementation guides. So this is so important. Even see that we have issued implementation guide. And please go for the compendium that you have issued on COVID compendium. एक compendium हम लोग का जो COVID का publication है Auditor Assurance Standards Board का, how to deal with inventory, how to deal with going concern in a COVID situation, how to deal with subsequent events in a COVID situation, ये सब का हम लोग एक सब लेके compendium बनाया. And this compendium is there in the site of the institute. We have released that compendium on the 1st of July. So you see, you can have a look at the compendium and if you have any doubt on these matters, right? Let me now take you through very important issue, fraud. SA 240, SA 240 fraud, very, very important. SA 240 fraud. मैं Caro का, see, I will talk to you about Caro also, the new Caro that is coming up. I was part of this committee set up by the government of India to develop the new Caro, which has already come, Caro 2020, which will be applicable from 2021. So at that time, the Secretary Ministry of Corporate Affairs, he said that why the auditors are not detecting frauds. He was saying, I can understand an auditor not detecting a fraud if it's a needle in a haystack. But if the fraud is like a wild elephant running amok in the premises of the company and the auditor cannot detect it, then it is inexcusable. SA 240 fraud, right? Let me now take you through a bit through the Companies Act on fraud. And please note, this fraud section is applicable even to private limited companies. अगर आप छोटा सा private limited companies का audit करते हो, तो fraud is applicable. Section 143, subsection 12 of the Companies Act talks about fraud. It says that अगर आपका fraud का value is more than 1 crore, in that case, you have to refer the fraud immediately to the central government within 60 days of you finding out the fraud, and you have to use a form called ADT 4 when you inform about this fraud to the central government. Please note that this fraud, if the value of the fraud is more than 1 crore, then you have to inform the central government using a form called ADT 4. And this is part of section 143, subsection 12 of the Companies Act. If the value of the fraud is lesser than 1 crore, then in that case, you have to refer the matter to the board of directors of your company, and the board of directors are required to talk about that fraud in the directors report. So that is about fraud reporting under section 143, subsection 12 of the Companies Act. Please note, unlike in the past times, the definition of fraud is now given in section 447 of the Companies Act. The section 447 of the Companies Act gives a definition of a fraud, right? Gives a definition of a fraud, right? So you see, and SA 240, which is also an auditing standard on fraud, also defines what is a fraud. मैं आपको अभी 2 example दूंगा. I hope many of you will relate to these examples relating to fraud, which I will tell you regarding a seminar which I was addressing, and the other which I found out during the audit. I was the auditor, my firm was the auditor, and I was the signing partner of a central PSU. बहुत ज़्यादा PSU बड़ा नहीं है, but it was a central PSU. And PSU का हालत बहुत खराब था. Its sales had gone down, and let me tell you, the going concern was in doubt. And I was going to give an adverse report on this. Now, the company secretary of that PSU had just left the job. And what happened was this, that I wanted to have a management representation on fraud, that no fraud on or by the company has been committed during the year ended, that year that I was doing. So I wanted a management representative, since I could not have a look at their files because the company secretary was not there, the vigilance officer was not there, the company was on the verge of being, the company was in a doldrums. The GM Finance gave me a management representation, SA 580, stating that no fraud had occurred during the year. ये शायद आप लोगों को भी दिखाई देगा, and please note, this is very important. आप इसको थोड़ा गौर कीजिएगा, the example that I am giving you, the case study that I am sharing with you. So the GM Finance gave me this. There was no director of finance, so I got it from the GM Finance, and he said there was no fraud during the year. I said that all right. Since there was nothing more, I was writing the Caro report, stating that we have got a management representation like this. There was a lot of pressure on me to complete the audit on time, because they were saying our AGM is getting delayed, so you please complete the audit on time. So as soon as I got this management representation from the GM Finance, which stated that no fraud was there, I was trying to develop the Caro report. Right? Now, as I was developing and I was on the verge of signing, I got a phone call from that company. So that this gentleman, he phoned me up. He said that I am Mr. X, who is the new managing director of this company, of this PSU. So I said, very good, sir, Mr. X, nice. I had not met Mr. X before. He said that, look, Mr. Mitra, I have been transferred from Maharashtra, from Bombay to this place. And in Bombay, he was saying that audit is never delayed. And we do audit right on time. And here I find that the audit is getting delayed. So he was telling me that. I said that, Mr. X, the audit got delayed because I was seeking a representation, management representation on fraud which I was not getting. As soon as I said that, this see, and you have to be very careful. As soon as I said that, this gentleman, he said, "Arey Mitra sahab, kya bataye? Is company mein to fraud hai? I said that, Arey, I have got a management representation which says that there is no fraud. I could not check the files." He said, I said that, is it? बोलते अरे हम ज्वाइन किए हैं 2 दिन पहले. I was just looking at the file. This managing director was telling me, and I have found at least 3 FIRs submitted to the police station. I said that, can you send me the scan copy of the FIRs? He said that, yes, I can send you, but you have to give me the report within the next 2 days. I said, certainly. When I found from the FIRs that there was one fraud which was about 80 lakhs and a fraud about 1 crore 10 lakhs from the FIRs. Please note, my management representation given by GM Finance said that no fraud had occurred. But here I found in the FIRs that there were fraud. Of course, then consequently I changed my Karo report and made the reporting. And then, you see, the CAG, when it came in, they said that, you see, okay, you see, you did the good thing by finding out all this, right? So, you see, it is very important for us. If you are doing the audit of a PSU, or if you are doing the audit of in a case where there is a management dispute, agar aapko fraud ka ahat sunai de, be very, very careful. Very careful. Because now you have penal consequences if you cannot report fraud under section 143 subsection 12 of the Companies Act. Ye ek example aapko de diya maine. Second example. I was speaking somewhere near Ranchi only. I was speaking in Raulkela about 3 years back. I was speaking in Raulkela. Near Ranchi only, I was speaking there. About 3 years back, I was speaking there. So after I finished speaking, this gentleman, a very senior man, must be about 70 years old, he came to me and he said that, and I knew him personally since Raulkela is within my eastern region. And he said that, Devashish, I would like to have a small chat with you. So I said, yes, sir, please tell me what I can do to help you out. He said that, Devashish, I'm in a great mental stress. And my topic was reporting for fraud under the Companies Act. That was my topic. And he said that, Devashish, I am under great mental stress. I said that, why are you in a mental stress? What is this thing? He said that, look, I am the auditor of a very large PSU. And please note here, since both the examples I give about PSU, it does not mean that only in PSU, there are some extremely good PSUs. Top class management. It's just that there are 2 examples that I'm giving you. They relate to PSUs, but PSUs are there. Some of them are extremely top class in their management, right? So he said that I'm the auditor of quite a very large PSU. I said, very nice. He said that there was a fraud of 1 crore 20 lakhs in that PSU. I said, okay, all right. He said that, look, Devashish, my problem is I have not reported that fraud to the central government because I was under great pressure. So, you see, now I have not reported that fraud to the central government. And now what do I do? And you have said, he said that you have just now told me that if the value of the fraud is more than 1 crore, then I have to report that fraud to the central government. But in this case, I have not reported the fraud to the central government, Devashish. So I am in what to do now. You tell me. And he said that मेरा रात का नींद चला गया. बोलता है कि इस स्थिति लेके मेरा रात का नींद चला गया. हम बोला कि साहब एक बात. I said, first of all, you know, you have let us have a cup of tea, and we sat down. हम बोला कि साहब ऐसा है. पहले ये बताइए fraud किसने ये किया? Who detected the fraud? He said the fraud was detected by the company. Please note the value of the fraud was 1 crore 20 lakhs. The fraud was detected by the company. And you see, as I told you, section 143 subsection 12 says that if the value of the fraud is more than 1 crore, it has to be intimated to the central government within 60 days. He said that the fraud was detected by the company. I said that the fraud was detected by the company. He said yes. Then he said, who filed the FIR? Well, the company has filed the FIR with the police station. तो हम बोला कि आप ना अभी आराम से नींद लीजिए, आपको कुछ नहीं होने वाला. He said, why do you say like this, Devashish? Everybody is scaring me that I will be in trouble. मेरा violation हो गया. तो हम बोला कि देखिए सर, इंस्टीट्यूट का एक गाइडेंस नोट है on reporting for fraud under section 143 subsection 12 of the Companies Act. That guidance note says, if the fraud has been detected by the company, in that case, there is no requirement for you to again report that fraud to the government of India by using a fund called ADT4. There is no requirement for you. You need not report the fraud again to the government of India by using a fund called ADT4. If the fraud has been detected by the company. Oh, मुझे बोला ये guidance note कहाँ है? I said, I showed him from the side that this is the guidance note. So he said, अरे मुझे तो मालूम नहीं था. I said that, sir, and for those of us who are hearing me today, you know, these guidance notes which are issued by the institute could save you, could be a matter, could be a lifesaver sometimes. And I told him that, look, sir, this is the guidance note. But he बोला, I said that, sir, यहाँ में मैं आपसे और एक सवाल पूछ सकता हूँ. I said that आपने 143.12 में गवर्नमेंट को रिपोर्ट नहीं किया, वैल्यू ऑफ द फ्रॉड 1 crore 20 lakhs था, ठीक है, सब ठीक है. क्या आपने कारो रिपोर्टिंग में रिपोर्ट किया? वो बोला कि 100% I have reported under Karo. In the Karo, I have reported there was a fraud in the company of 1 crore 20 lakhs. So you see, if there is a fraud of more than 1 crore 20 lakhs, and if it was found out by the auditor himself, you have to report to the government of India within 60 days using a form called ADT4. And the fraud reporting is not only under section 143.12, but also under Karo. Karo में भी आपको fraud reporting करना पड़ेगा. So I am now taking you through this fraud reporting, which is so important. Now मैं आपको थोड़ा Karo का जिक्र करता हूँ. Karo 2020. अभी ये जो Karo 2020 जो नया Karo जो निकला है, Companies Auditors Reports Order. Companies Auditors Reports Order. Please note, when the government got this order out, first of all, it was applicable for 1920. It was applicable for the year 1920. With COVID coming in, Government of India, Nirmala Sitharaman made an announcement, FM made an announcement, that this Karo 2020 is now deferred to 2021. Is now deferred to 2021. It is now deferred. Now, Institute ने क्या किया? इसका पर में guidance note Karo 2020, which is applicable from 2021. Institute has issued a guidance note on that, which was released on the CA day on the 1st of July. It was released. The institute has issued a guidance note. It was released on the 1st of July. So please note that is, that guidance note you may please refer to. But 1920 में आप जब audit करेंगे, आपको Karo 2016 refer करना पड़ेगा and not Karo 2020. Karo 2020 you will have to refer when you are doing the audit of 2021. But अगर आपको थोड़ा जानकारी ज़्यादा चाहिए, तो you may refer to the guidance note that has been issued by the institute on 1st of July. मैं आपको एक झलक दिखाता हूँ Karo 2020 का. And chairperson madam, you will find that things are pretty tough in Karo 2020. हम लोग ने बहुत फाइट किया, but government ने माना नहीं. Government ने बोला कि if you have taken a working capital limit of more than 5 crores, अगर आपका client का working capital limit, cash credit limit more than 5 crores है, अगर cash credit limit more than 5 crores है, तो every month या every quarter आप एक stock statement देते हो बैंक के पास. The company gives a stock statement to the bank, inventory statement bank के पास देता है. Now in Karo 2020, they are saying that the auditors must report whether the value of stock as given to the bank every quarter tallies with the books of accounts. हम लोग पहले क्या होता था? हम लोग सिर्फ books of accounts देखते थे, and in many cases, I'm not saying in all cases, there were cases where the stock as per books of accounts was much lower because the profit had to be brought down, whereas the stock that was given, the stock details that was given to the bank was much higher because you needed to maintain the stock level to get your CC limit renewed. Now they are saying that the auditor must tally every quarter the stock details that has been given to the bank with accounts, and accounts के साथ में stock details एक होना पड़ेगा. अगर नहीं है, the auditor must report. You don't know what kind of ramification it will have. You see, for the auditors, it will have great ramification. Those of us, you see, but what we did when we were discussing this point, first of all, you see, I'll tell you, we wanted it to be yearly, once in a year. Government ne mana nahi. See, government said that once in a year, hum log manega. We, instead of quarter, we said that you do it once in a year, government ne mana nahi. We were vociferously arguing. Then we said that, sir, a company, we told the committee, लोन लेता है, इसी इसका लोन का लिमिट है 50 लाख रुपया, या इसी 1 करोड़ रुपया लोन का लिमिट है, सीसी लिमिट। उसको क्यों आप, उसको क्या फर्क पड़ता है आपका, सी व्हाट हैज हैपेंड, I see this such a small loan limit. Why you want us to go for all this? Government, after a lot of discussion, has now said that this clause will be applicable if the loan limit is 5 crore rupees or more. CC limit, if it's 5 crore rupees or more. So you see the kind of ramification that we are having as long as Karo is concerned. So you see, Karo 2020 will have, it will have a huge ramification as long as, you see, it is also talking about CSR, whether CSR spend has been done on time or not. Those kind of things is talking about. So please note, Karo 2020, I don't want to discuss. I hope the branch will sometimes call me physically, so that, see, because it's basically applicable for 2021. You see, at that time, you see, we can discuss Karo 2020. But now coming back to auditing standards, I have taken you through the gamut of auditing standards because I find it's almost about 5:15. I have already spoken for about an hour. I have taken you through a gamut of auditing standards. I've started from 541, that is on inventory, and then I took you through 505 external confirmations, then 580 management representations, then I took you through 570 going concern, then I took you to SS 700 auditors report, SS 701 key audit matters, SS 705, you see, qualifying auditors report, that is modification of auditors report, SS 706 emphasis of matter and other matters, SS 240 on fraud. I have taken you through all this. I hope, you see, you have noted the importance of this. Don't take this, you see, webinar just as something which had to be done for 2 hours because the institute has said. I hope that I could put across to you the importance of knowing these standards in your day-to-day professional life. I have not spoken, I don't think so, I've spoken on anything which you don't do on your day-to-day professional life. I think I have tried to cover only those areas which you do on your day-to-day professional life. If you have members here who would like me to speak on bigger issues like SS 600, group audit and all this, I'll be very happy to take those questions. But my only point is, please note that auditing standards are here to stay. And the auditing standards are here to protect you. If you study the auditing standards, have more seminars on this, you'll find that you'll enjoy the auditing standards. And if you can, आप अगर उसका full benefit ले सको, आप हरदम as an auditor सुरक्षित रहो. With these words, I now conclude. I have spoken for about an hour, I think. I now conclude my presentation. And if you have any questions, then I will take those questions. And then after that, I will speak to Madam here on BOS. You see, Rachi branch and BOS, I would like to speak. But you see, if you have any questions at this stage, I would like to take. If you have not, then so. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Thank you, sir. So there were few hand raised during the conversation, so we can proceed.
Yes,
to those
you have to read out the
who were
questions to me
raising
because I have not, I have not gone for the chat box. Or they can ask me directly if you unmute them.
So I would request all the participants, if you have any particular doubt, you can directly unmute your mic and you can raise your question. All participants are requested to raise their questions directly by unmuting their mic.
If you don't have any questions, then I can only say this much, that if I have been very clear in whatever I have said, please note about the cash flow that I have said. ऐसा मत सोचिएगा कि cash flow आपको preparation करना ही नहीं है, मत सोचिएगा. So if you don't have any questions, that's okay. You see, no problem. But please note that, you see, auditing standards, please give a lot of importance to the auditing standards. You see, in the past, what had happened? Accounting standards came. We grappled with that for some time. Now, somehow or the other, we have got a grip of the accounting standards. Now, since auditing standards have also come, so you see, we'll have to grapple with that in the initial stages. But I'm sure that you see, with the passage of time, you will become more and more, you see, conversant with the auditing standards, and then you see, it will be very easy for you to do things. Right? So, see, that's how it is. If there be no questions, then I'll speak about BOS. Right. If the you see, if you have any questions, also you can tell me. This is for the Vice Chairman CIRC as well as the Chairperson of Ranchi branch. Yes. You know that you see we are having this free virtual classes from the 1st of July for intermediate, final, and foundation. Free virtual classes. So you see, please encourage the classes. They start from 7 o'clock in the morning. They carry on up till 10 o'clock. And then the evening, we start from 6 o'clock and we carry on up till 9 o'clock. Right? The best of faculties are speaking. The best of faculties are speaking in these virtual classes. So please encourage your students from your region to see attend these virtual classes. It is totally free. It's totally free, and this is for November 2020 exam. This is for November 2020 exam. These classes will carry on till 15th of October. We want to, cover all this syllabus. That is number one. So please popularize these classes. You might have heard students telling you that, you see, we don't have the study materials. We don't get the study materials hard copies. Please tell them that, you see, in the e-learning portal, we are having the study materials in the soft copy form. So you see, they can always access the study materials from the e-learning portal in the soft copy form. Now, what we are doing, we are also trying to, ensure that these study materials are totally error-free and it has more examples and illustrations. So, because of that, you see, if you have any complaints that this study material, this example is not right or whatever, if any student complains to you, or if you have any complaint yourself, please refer that complaint to me. You may mail it to me. I will send it to BOS because we are trying to see that by July 31st, the study materials that we are having are totally error-free. Because it is the duty of the institute to give the best to the students who are the future of our profession. Right? So you see, if you have anything on study materials, any issue, you can refer that to me so that you see we can take steps on this. We are also trying to, the case studies that are there, we are also trying to make them more and more interactive and more and more relevant. You'll find more and more sample case studies being put up on the site so that you see, people can join us. People can take enjoyment, can take the maximum out of this sample case studies. The council, you see, in the last meeting that was held, took a very important decision that those of us who are joining the foundation course, we want to join. We said that for class 12, if you have been issued an admit card or if you have appeared for few papers of class 12, then in that case, you can provisionally register yourself for the November exam. Now, we had given a date of 31st of July to provisionally register yourself. Sorry, 30th of June earlier to provisionally register yourself for the foundation. Now that date of 30th of June has been extended to 31st of August. So if you know of students who have appeared for the exams for class 12 and who have passed by 31st of August, they can immediately register themselves for November 2020 foundation. So that is very important. So you can also do that. So that is very, very important. So I would expect this branch, Ranchi branch, to see further all this initiatives of the Board of Studies, so the students benefit the most. Right? So the students benefit the most. Yes, Pankaj, do you have any issues on audit and assurance standards? If you it's already almost we are nearing 5:21. Almost nearing 5:30.
Sir,
Sir, one doubt regarding the same.
There is a query.
We got
Yes,
some
please.
query from students.
Yes.
So who
Tell me,
didn't
I'm hearing
get,
you.
so who didn't get registered by 1st of July, can they still get registered for those classes, free classes?
Yes. You register yourself. No problem. No problem. And
how to
not
proceed for
only
the
them,
same?
if they have missed the classes of 1st of July, these classes, the recorded lectures are available on YouTube. So they can go for the recorded lectures.
Sir,
Right, you can do
if you
that.
can,
No
it
problem.
would be glad if you can share the YouTube link or the details, how they can connect directly.
I will, you know my number. So you see, if you
Right,
can
sir.
just give me today my WhatsApp number, right? I will immediately give you the link in that WhatsApp number. You
Sure,
give
sir.
me this thing. My number is 98318-90318. You just say hi and send me a message. I will give you all the details in that number. My number is 98318-90318. Right? I will immediately will get it. Right? We want
Sir, I have
more
shared your
and
number
more
with
students
everyone.
to join us. Yeah.
Sir, I have a query.
Hadi.
Sir, in case of when we are going for the audits, then we ask the management for the confirmation from the creditors and debtors. Then it is in general, it is a problem with the management or a small business persons. They are not able to provide us the informations from creditors or debtors. So what should be the course of action while we are reporting? It is not, I think it is sufficient, just we are, as we are mentioning that confirmations, debtors and creditors are subject to confirmation.
So you are talking about the data confirmation, right, Ji?
Yeah, debtors
You are
and
talking
creditors
about the
both.
data confirmation?
Debtors and creditors both, sir, both. Creditors as well.
The data is creditors. Yeah, right. So you see, in that case, you know what the standard says. What the standard says is this: that standard says that if you could not get a confirmation, and which is, you see, which would be true for many of us here, the standard says that can you go and check what happened in the month of, say, 31st of March 2020. They say, can you go and check in the month of April and May whether there has been some movement in those accounts during those months. So if there is no movement in those accounts in April, May, or June, then you see there should be some alarm bells in your mind that what is happening to these accounts. Now your client will immediately tell you that COVID में तो कोई movement होगा नहीं, कोई आपका कोई बेचा उचा नहीं है, तो आपको क्या होगा? See, nothing is going to happen. Then you go back on this account, back कीजिएगा. You see, आपका अगर March 2020 में है, तो January 2020, February 2020 pre-COVID days में क्या है? अगर आप देखते हैं कि pre-COVID days में भी कुछ इसमें कोई transaction नहीं है, then that should be an alarm bell for you. And then I would like to think that if you then you can delve deeper to find to what extent these data are recoverable. Right? If you feel that these data are not recoverable or the creditors are not payable, and if you have some doubt, I would expect you to qualify your audit report. Please do that. Please do that. Please qualify your audit report. Please do that.
Okay. Sir, in most of the cases, I received phone calls from our members, especially from small towns, whether sir, audit report में गलती हो गया है balance sheet में, whether this can be revised, balance sheet or audit report can be revised.
We have issued a guidance note on the revision of audit report. अगर आप audit report revision करते हो, then you have to write revised audit report. And you see what happens is this: in that case, in the revised audit report, you have to write 2 dates. नीचे में जो original audit report का date है, और उसका ऊपर में new audit report का date देना पड़ेगा. And then you must also give in your comments on the main audit report, the revised one, why you have revised the audit report, why you have revised the audit report.
Okay.
Right? So that is, I'm talking about the revision of audit reports. I'm not talking about revision of financial statements. Revision of financial statements is a more difficult thing. But revision of audit report you can do. You can do. Right? So I will tell you also, I'll give you this thing for revision of audit report. There is a standard SA 560 subsequent events. So you see, you may also, because sometimes the auditor, after he has signed the audit report, before the report is accepted by AGM, he finds that there are some changes there. You see, or he would like to revise the audit report. Then he has to go by SA 560 subsequent events, right? And then you can also see the guidance that you have given for revision of audit report. Very good question. Very good question. Very good question.
Thank you, sir.
अभी ना ये ऑडिट में हम लोग लेट मी टेल यू जी, हम लोग मिनिस्ट्री में आर्गुमेंट कर रहे थे कि सर ये छोटा छोटा जगह है, जैसे रांची है, जमशेदपुर है, बोलता है कि इन लोग को ना आपका इतना तो ऑडिटिंग स्टैंडर्ड मालूम नहीं होगा, तो इन लोग को छूट मिलना चाहिए, इन लोग को छूट मिलना चाहिए, समझे कि नहीं? हम लोग बॉम्बे का साथ में इन लोग को छूट करते हो. I originally hail from Guwahati, by the way, for those of us who are listening to me, and I also come from a very small place. I am a past chairman of Guwahati branch. I also come from a very small place, Guwahati. Guwahati वाले भी मुझे बोलते हैं कि see, दादा, see why you are making all these things applicable. But अभी जो है ना auditing standard जो है, we have only one set of auditing standards. Auditing standards में ऐसा नहीं है कि small places के लिए अलग है या small companies के लिए अलग है और बड़ा companies के लिए अलग है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. The one set of auditing standards is applicable for across the board. And since we have only one set of auditing standards, it is very important that even in small places we also study and comply with these auditing standards, right? So that is how it is.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Very nice.
So I have unmuted CA Vinod Kumar Banka, our past chairman. He has some doubt. Banka sir.
हाँ जी, बंका जी बोलिए.
You are visible, sir. Banka sir, you can ask your question. सर आपकी वॉल्यूम लो की हुई है.
ठीक है, तो उसमें मेरे हिसाब से जो हाइट
सर आपके सिस्टम की वॉल्यूम लो की हुई है.
फूल में से ज्यादा अच्छा रहेगा, जो हाइट में थोड़ा बड़ा रहेगा, हमको जैसा फील होगा.
Actually, sir, Banka sir was running YouTube also, and he was running from Zoom also. Currently, he had unmuted the volume.
Oh, very
the
good.
volume
And I could see him making. I could also see him making a lot of notes also when I was speaking. I think he was noting down all the auditing standards also. So he's a very sincere man. Good,
Yes,
very good.
Sir, you
Yes,
need to increase the volume of Zoom, sir.
बाकी देख लीजिएगा ना, जो ठीक है.
Sir, you can increase the volume of Zoom, Banka sir.
पंकज फोन कर दो उनको.
Sir, your voice is not audible. आपके Zoom वाले system. Sir, he has given his question on chat.
What is the question?
You would allow, I can ask.
Yes, please.
What matter are categorized under matter to be pre-emphasized if we ask management to procure confirmation from creditor and debtor, and they are not able to procure what is responsibility of auditor? It is generally said that auditor is not a fraud detector.
Correct. So the Bankaji ka jo sawal hai, and he's right in saying that these debtors, creditors, see, sometimes the management cannot provide details. They will not give you management, confirmation also. They will not give you the confirmation from debtors. And then you see, if you have debtors which are actually not debtors or creditors which are actually not creditors in the books, and then some fraud occurs and the management has not given a confirmation, the auditors will get caught. So that's why Bankaji, my suggestion, जो मैं अतुल जी को भी बोला मैं, कि my suggestion to you is that if you have any doubt, you should qualify your report. हम लोग अभी बहुत दिन से हम लोग सिर्फ क्लाइंट का नजरिया से देखे हैं अपने आप को कि क्लाइंट नाराज हो जाएगा, क्लाइंट चला जाएगा. It is time now, the way the audit is now evolving. और अभी ना audit has become a specialized function because of the penal consequences that are there if you don't comply. So you see that we have to now come out and give our qualification whenever you feel that you have great doubts on the veracity of some figures. If you have great doubts, you should come out and qualify. The problem you see that we have is हम लोग क्लाइंट को भी नाराज नहीं करना चाहते हैं. At the same time, we want to save our own skin. You see that this is not possible. You see, if you feel that something serious is there, please come out and you see, please come out and qualify. Let me give you one more illustration. This was a company in which there was huge amount of central funds given, huge amount of central funds, and I had, you see, grave doubts on the going concern, and you see, I qualified my report. When I qualified my report, qualified नहीं, adverse कर दिया मैंने, qualified में नहीं गया, adverse कर दिया. मैंने बोला कि balance sheet does not give a true and fair view. And when I did the adverse, there was a huge hue and cry. First of all, मेरा bill तो अटक गया. They did not pay my fees. Right? Bill तो अटक गया, वो तो गया, ठीक है, वो तो हो गया. And there was a huge hue and cry. People, they started saying that what you are doing, you are, you see, going to destroy my company, this, that, or so many things. But I realized what was happening in that company. The data were having the same balances. About 80% of the data were having the same balances for the past 5 years. 5 साल से 80% of the data were having the same balance, and these data were running in crores. Right? They were having the same balance, and they were unable to give me a balance confirmation for the confirmation from these data. So I qualified. I said adverse reporting. I said the balance sheet does not give a clear and fair. All hell broke loose. See, I could understand that they will not pay my fees. Okay, that's okay. You know, they were part of a particular ministry, and the ministry had given them funds. In the AGM of the company, the joint secretary of the ministry who was attending the AGM, he sent me a message that Mr. Mitra, can you be present in the AGM, please? हम सोचा कि ये लोग मुझे फिर ऑलरेडी फीस का तो दिया नहीं, इतना मुझे बदनाम किया, फिर अभी यहाँ भी ये लोग गड़बड़ करेगा. So but I went there. You know what? The joint secretary said in front of everybody that is there any way how we can extend the tenure of his fund, Bumera fund? So everybody was surprised. Well, the way he has reported, other people did not report. Well, we can see that all your data are not recoverable. It's a fraud. And he has reported rightly. So the point I'm trying to make, sir, is this. If you are going to report, yes, short-term impact is there, but in the long term, it works. In the long term, it works. Sir, abhi kya hai na? Penal consequences itna ज़्यादा है. Penal consequences itna ज़्यादा है. We should not. हम लोग क्या किए छोटा-छोटा जगह में? We became auditors at first, then we became consultants, tax consultants. हम लोग सब tax consultancy किए. हम लोग सोचा कि वो ऑडिट का फीस जो है तो आते रहेगा, but our main income was from tax consultancy. अभी गवर्नमेंट बोल रहा है कि जो ऑडिट जो तुम कर रहे हो, it is a very specialized function. अगर तुम वो ऑडिट स्पेशलाइज्ड फंक्शन के हिसाब से नहीं कर सकते हो, then तुम ऑडिट छोड़ दो, सिर्फ तुम टैक्स कंसल्टेंसी करो. ऑडिट तुम छोड़ दो. जो ऑडिट कर सकता है ठीक से, जिसको ऑडिटिंग स्टैंडर्ड मालूम है, उसको ऑडिट करने दो, तुम ऑडिट छोड़ दो. This is the shift that they are having in the way they look at audit. So now they are saying audit is a specialized function, no longer what we used to think earlier. So that's how it is. So that's why auditing standards are so important. Yes, I hope I could answer Mr. Banka's question. I agree with him that sometimes you don't get this confirmations and you are in trouble.
Just he has more details in his question.
Yes, tell me. Yes. If there's anything else.
Pankaj, I have a question. Pankaj?
Yes, please. Please.
Yeah, Mr. Mitra, it was really enjoyable hearing you on the accounting standards and standards, especially 705 and 700. Could you just throw some light on the national you see, we have an agency at the moment. The central government has set up an agency as far as reporting and monitoring of chartered accountants' reports are concerned.
Yes. I'll do that. You see, you're talking about NFRA.
Yes, NFRA. Because you see, NFRA is something maybe in Ranchi, many chartered accountants would not fall under that. But this is something which the chartered accountants need to understand, that ultimately this is going to be a huge issue for all the chartered accountants across the country. and with the government meddling in the, I would say, the qualitative work of the chartered accountants, what are the steps we chartered accountants need to take that we do not fall into that trap?
Right. You have to repeat your name, sir. You have to repeat your name.
I am Ajoy Chabra, chartered accountant.
Okay, all right, Chablaji. First of all, thank you very much for this question. I was also the CLCDC chairman, Corporate Law, Corporate Governance Committee chairman for 2 years of the institute. In the council, most people, they know me as a NFRA man. Since you have asked me now I moved to BOS. For 2 years, NFRA leke I was now let me tell you what is NFRA. Section 132 of the Companies Act. Section 132 of the Companies Act बोलता है कि ये जो accounting standards है, first of all, accounting standards, auditing standards, institute बनाएगा, but NFRA approve करेगा, फिर government को देगा, government उसका ऊपर में stamp notify करेगा. Accounting standards, auditing standards, institute बनाएगा, NFRA को देगा, NFRA उसको देखेगा, vetting करेगा, फिर उसके बाद में it will give to the government for notification. Right? Please note. So now, so NFRA is now playing a very major role. That vetting, we said, okay, all right. Now, what they are also doing, they are coming to the disciplinary landscape. They are saying, if you are an auditor of a listed company or auditor of a public company having turnover of more than 1,000 crores, or auditor of a public company having borrowings of more than 500 crores, in that case, those kind of auditors, the disciplinary action will be taken by NFRA. Now, you will note that there was a lot of buzz on this, that the institute's powers are now going, right? So you see, there was a case filed against in the Delhi High Court. There is a case pending in Chennai High Court on the constitutional validity of NFRA, because the issue was whether a general section, that is section 132 of the Companies Act, can override a special act called the Chartered Accountants Act. Anyway, that is a matter that is sub judice. I do not want to talk about that. That's a matter sub judice. But please note that for bigger auditors, now see, for auditors of bigger companies, NFRA is now going to come in a big manner. Even for small and medium-sized firms, they are laying down how working papers have to be kept. Working papers have to be kept. Working papers, that we now, since I'm talking about working papers, SA 230, working papers, how working papers have to be kept there now, this thing. They have now sent a notice to many of the big firms saying that let us know what is your earning from audit services and non-audit services. They are getting into all these areas, into all these domains, you see, which are, a bit of private domain of the various firms. But they are saying that, look, if you have to regulate the profession of chartered accountancy, in that case, we require all these details. So once they started giving about seeking details about the audit working papers, Institute last month has given them a representation on this working papers, what it should contain and what it should not contain, and their requirement. You see, I cannot say it's confidential in nature what the Institute has written to them, but let me tell you, I would like to agree with Ajayji that NFRA is now coming into the audit space in a big manner. You might not be impacted today, those of us who are doing audit in Ranchi, unless you are a person like him, since he has asked a question on NFRA. But we believe, and we are a bit apprehensive, that in the long run, they might try to reach out to this medium-sized firms also. And, then in that case, today, for example, I sit in the disciplinary bench 4, right? So, you see, the NFRA is also going to hear a lot of cases. For example, ILFS, we decided the case. Now, NFRA is also looking into that case. So, you see, that is a situation that we are looking into. So, I would like to agree with him that, you see, if we turn a blind eye towards the impact of NFRA, that will be very stupid on our part. It is going to have an impact, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Mitra. You definitely put the entire issue in the right perspective. Now, you see, is the Institute coming up with some guidelines in preparing all of us as to what should be, how we should prepare for the future as far as working papers are concerned or otherwise? I know there are certain guidelines which have been issued earlier as well, but in the changed times, you are in the Central Council, don't you think that there should be an updation on certain matters from the institute on a regular basis?
The Institute on Auditing Standards, I would like to restrict myself on auditing standards. I would not like to take, unless you want me to answer on corporate laws or accounting standards, but today I will just restrict myself on auditing standards. If you have any question on corporate laws or accounting standards, you can ask me. So there is no problem on that. Now, Institute on Auditing Standards, I think a branch like yours will note. The challenge that we face is popularizing these auditing standards. There is a mental block amongst many of our members. That is, why learn these auditing standards? We have been doing audit year after year, and we know everything, the rudiments of audit. But that is just not the right way of doing things. Now, what is also coming is, since you are talking about audit working papers, first of all, let me just tell you, we have a standard SA 230 on audit working papers. Now, that standard says that you can even keep your audit working papers in electronic mode also. You can keep those audit working papers on electronic mode also. What is coming, Chairperson Madam, is audit quality indicators. Government of India has sought an opinion from the institute, and we had given our opinion sometime in the month of February last week, or in the month of March, as to whether, to what extent institute is agreeable to have audit quality indicators. आपका audit quality जो है उसके indicators बनाएगा, and that's why the institute is now putting up a center for audit quality in Jaipur, which will deal with this audit quality indicators and try to educate or update the members about the importance of audit quality. So the institute is always updating. It is also for the membership to take full advantage of what the institute does, so that it's a two-way street. We can update, we can but it is up to you also to show a lot of interest and to go ahead. Like I congratulate Ranchi branch that you have done this program. It does not matter how many people attended. GST might have a bigger audience, and we do have nothing against GST. If you have a program on GST, you might have hundreds coming. But today, if you have more than 50 people coming in, it's a very good start. And as a vice chairman of Audit and Assurance Standards Board, I'm very happy that at least these people have come to know something about auditing standards.
Mr.
Right?
Mitra,
and this is the first small step. Yes, tell me.
Yes, Mr. Mitra, I seem to be putting too many questions, but two things which I want clarification from you. The accounting standards, when you go through those detailing the pages, etc., at times it becomes very cumbersome and boring reading those. And as far as the middle level and the small ones are concerned, they give us pages of study into it as required. Can we not, looking at the small companies and the medium-sized firms, can the institute not come up with a chip for us firms? And number two, I do not know. Like they is the institute looking creating some kind of a platform for insurance companies so that the chartered accountants also can avail liability insurance? Is there something like that?
Right. I'll take both of yours. The first one he was telling me, and Jaji, you will correct me if I'm wrong, because your audio went off for some time. The first thing he said that is, for the small companies, can we have a separate set of standards which are not so complicated and which are easy to follow? For example, fair value should not be there for small companies, right? Please note that is the thinking also, the auditing standards that we are developing. We are trying to develop a separate set of auditing standards which will be applicable for small enterprises, right? So you see, we are trying to develop that and trying to see if that is the thing. Secondly, his point, if I miss out something, you may correct me. To make things interesting, how to make things? He's saying that is big fat book. People, they don't really like to study so much. You need to have good teachers to come and take you through things simply. The good teachers, what is the indicator of a good teacher? Who can teach you a very complicated thing in a very simple manner. You see, if he can do that, then he is extremely a good teacher. You get there are a lot of such hundreds and hundreds of such people in India who can do this work that teach you a very complicated thing in a very easy manner, right? So you see, you go for them and do it. And number three, you are talking about, you see, our opportunities in insurance sector, right? That's what you are saying.
No.
The last part of it.
I was not talking about opportunities. I was saying like the medical profession.
Oh, actually, indemnity. Yeah.
Liability.
I believe the institute. Yeah, indemnity insurance. I professional indemnity insurance. Sorry, I missed that.
Yes.
I believe, I don't know whether it's still there or not. The institute at some point of time had entered into agreement with New India Assurance Company for this professional indemnity insurance. The branch may kindly find out whether that agreement is still valid and New India still provides this. I believe that was done at some point of time. I am not really updated on this, what is the status of that as of now. But at some point of time with New India Assurance Company, we had this arrangement for professional indemnity. Right?
Thank you, Mr.
So
Mitra.
that is there. Good that you asked. So lot of questions are coming at this stage. Good, very good.
I guess, sir, our past chairman, Audit Chapter, sir, question has been resolved. Right, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Good. You see, I am very impressed with your past chairman. He is talking about NFRA, about which only the big firms that talk about all those things. I'm very impressed by him. Very good. Because, in the council, let me tell you, past chairman, sir, whenever the word NFRA comes, the whole council starts looking at it. And they say that Devashish kya bolta hai isko par. So as over a period of time, I've stopped speaking about NFRA. Earlier, I used to speak a lot of the NFRA. Good that you raised this issue.
It appears that without knowing, I hit the bullseye.
No, very good, very good. You see, this digital, virtual kind of platform. It has become. I did not know Atulji before.
Hello, Pankaj.
So, see, yes, Boliji.
Can I be audible?
Yes,
yeah, Pankaj, sir, you are audible.
Sir, it's a very nice. Your deliberation is very nice, practical oriented, and we always talk about that audit is our domain. We must equip with all the techniques of the auditing. It's rightly been said by you that attestation function is a very important one, and we have to take care while signing the report whether the client is happy or not. That should be there, and you have done your this deliberation very nicely in this aspect and enlighten us on many matters. Now, one small question is that what matter we should cover under the emphasis of matter or otherwise? Can you explain in brief?
Okay,
time has not been left much.
Okay. He's talking, his question is on SS 706, matter. Before I answer this question, 2-3 साल पहले Economic Times में एक बात, front page में लिखा गया है, Economic Times, that the auditors, they are not qualifying, but they are using the emphasis of matter route to save themselves. Now, what is emphasis of matter? मैं जो example जो दिया, suppose you find that the debtors are कोई confirmation मिला नहीं debtors, but at the same time आप सोचते हो कि ये डेटास रिकवरेबल है बिकॉज जैसा अतुल जी पूछ रहे थे अप्रैल महीना में शायद कुछ पैसा आया या फरवरी महीने में कुछ पैसा आया बट एट द सेम टाइम इसका कंफर्मेशन आपको मिला नहीं यू हैव नॉट गॉट ए कंफर्मेशन एज ऑन 31st of March 2020 now since you are not doubting the recoverability of the debtors but at the same time you are saying that the fact that the confirmation was not received from the debtors is an important point. And I would like to bring that important point in my audit report. So what you do is this, you use the root of emphasis of matter. जहाँ पे आप qualify नहीं करना चाहते हो, but at the same time you think the matter is so important, it is part of the financial statements, जे आप उसको audit report को main audit report में लाना चाहते हो, but आप qualify नहीं करना चाहते हो report. So you can write, we refer to note number 2.0 of the notes and accounts of X company limited. which states that the balances of debtors are subject to confirmation. Full stop. Then next you write, our report is not modified in respect of this matter. That is, you are saying we are not qualifying, but we are just bringing this aspect to the notice of the readers of our auditor's report. But अगर आप सोचते हो कि ये सब डेटर्स जो है 6 साल का डेटर्स है, इसका एक ही बैलेंस चल रहा है, और these debtors are all false debtors, इसका कोई recoverability होगा नहीं, in that case you should not use if it's a matter. In that case, what you should do is this: you should write that our report is qualified because we feel that these debtors are not recoverable at all. So that is the, I hope you have understood the distinction between the two. Yeah. So emphasis matter में आप qualify नहीं करेंगे because you don't want to qualify. At the same time, if the matter is so important, you want to bring it to the main audit report. वही बात है. I hope I have answered your query. Could you hear me? I hope he has heard me.
Actually, Banka sir is viewing your answer on YouTube also. That's
oh,
why.
Really? He's more technologically savvy than us here. You see, he's viewing both sides.
There won't be any
Banka ji, namaskar.
technical claims on that.
Both sides. Very good. So very good. I see, I did not know that you are carrying this on YouTube also. Otherwise, I would have been a bit more careful while you see. But you see, it doesn't matter. Whatever I have said, I stand by whatever I have said. Whenever I'm in a branch, whenever I'm in a branch, I'm always very, very, relaxed because I come from a branch. Like
Banka sir, you are on mute now. If you have any question, you can raise.
Audit quality indicators. Government of India has
I guess that his issue was resolved.
Okay.
So since I told you, we were having a live view on YouTube also. So accordingly, we got few questions from YouTube from our non-registered users. What will be the implication of such revision with MCA filings where we have to attach the same?
Revision of what? Auditor's report. I believe that you see, I have made a
revision in MCA filing.
MCA filing. You see, if you have done a MCA filing, you see, he's talking about AOC filing, AOC 4 and all these things. If you have done, if you have revised your auditor's report, and if you see, it is expected that if you have, MCA filing can only be done after your auditor's report is adopted in the AGM, then only you usually do the MCA filing. So if it is presumed that you have revised your auditor's report before it has been adopted in the AGM, then what will be filed in the MCA portal will be your revised auditor's report, right? But if you are revising your auditor's report post the AGM, then you have to, that's something else. That is, you have to go for the SFI, you have to go for the subsequent event standards and do it. But in whatever I have said, I have presumed that the auditor's report has been revised pre-AGM, and the AGM has adopted the revised audit report, and consequent to the adoption, what will be filed in the MCA portal will be the revised audit report.
Right, sir.
Very correct. Yes.
I expect the question would have been resolved.
Yeah. Very good. The institute has also come with a revised code of ethics and a review also from 1st of September. I hope so, if I am correct.
No, it is from 1st of July. It is already out. You see, so it is already out. So see, you can have, I'm sure the branch will also have a 2-hour program on code of conduct or code and I would hope that you see, you should have it and uska bhi aanand lijiyega. Don't think that code of conduct uska bhi aanand lijiye. See, if somebody can speak to you, well, that is also a very, very interesting topic. Very, very interesting topic.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I guess Pankaj's queries has also been perfectly resolved.
Yes.
And we can move towards the closure of this webinar.
Yes.
Many of the viewers may be having certain questions that they have kept in mind. So we have shared your number also, so here. Any query which have been left can be personally asked by our speaker, Dr. Devashish Mitra. Moving forward, I would request CA Prabhat Kumar, Secretary, Ranchi branch of CIRC, for vote of thanks.
Thank you, Pankaj. I, CA Prabhat Kumar, Secretary of Ranchi branch, very thankful to today's speaker, Mitra sir, for such a nice and brilliant session. Sir, you guided many of auditing standards which are more relevant to us, especially in this Corona time. Sir, we must carefully do audit, keeping in mind all the advisory issued by ICI by taking precaution. You rightly said that auditing a standard protect us. I think so. It will act as mask for us as a protected tool. I am also thankful to Atul Mehrotra sir for organizing such a nice virtual program.
Thank you. Thank you.
I am thankful to viewers for hearing and watching this live webinar with so patience. Thank you once again. Over to Pankaj.
Thank you very much. And you see, you must note what he said. He used a word, the secretary used a word, that it is a protector. I would say that the auditing standards are your protective shield. Auditing standard आप follow करोगे तो आप हरदम सुरक्षित रहोगे. आप हरदम सुरक्षित रहोगे. So that's what you see. Good. You use that word protector. Very good.
Thanks a lot, Prabhaji.
Thank you, sir.
So, to conclude the program, I would again thank our speaker, Dr. Devashish Mitra, and a special thanks to Vice Chairman Atul Mehrotra sir for taking the initiative and to inviting our speaker, Dr. Devashish Mitra.
Pankaj, I just wanted to say a few words. I am very much feel closer to Ranchi branch. As I earlier said in the year 2018 that my first training audit outside the Kanpur was started from Ranchi itself. So really I always love to visit Ranchi, and and I visited after around 30 years in the year 2018. So I am always with all of you. Please feel free to call me or WhatsApp me if any support is needed from CIRC. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Right, so meeting personally in this pandemic is not possible, but we can still stay connected with the help of these webinars and other means and other technically upgrading sessions. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
All the best. All the best. Chairperson, all the best to the branch. All the best to the branch.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
It was really nice session, and we were very much.
Thank you. I enjoyed being with all of you. I enjoyed being with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
A special thanks to all participants also for their patient listening. Thank you.